Alright my friends, so in the last video we have added our markup, and now it's time for us to first of all view our code in the web browser, and we can start writing some CSS to make it a lot or much prettier. And also just keep in mind that we are going to divide the CSS part into more than one video to make it easy and understandable. So let's get started. So the first thing first, here is our HTML file. I want you just to right click here and click on open with live server so we can view our code in the web browser. In my case, I have my Google Chrome here up and running, and we have our code. It is being added successfully. So let's go ahead and start implementing some style. Now for the CSS part, the first thing first, I want my items to sit here in one line on the top left corner right here, and I want my buttons to sit here on the top right corner. To do that, we have several ways. We can use CSS grid, we can use positioning, absolute and relative, and also we can use flexbox and so on. So there are several solutions. Now my solution will be very simple. First and foremost, I'm gonna write some selectors. So I'm gonna start with my nav. Why my nav? Because my nav here, it's including everything that I want to target. Okay, once again, this thing right here, so let me just write a comment, will be to the top left. All right, and this thing right here will be to the top right, and so on. Okay, and here we have our navigation or our container. Now I'm gonna use flexbox because it is the easier one, and we need to write 3 lines of code. So if you already know flexbox, or if you haven't worked with the flexbox, essentially when you want to make 2 HTML items, okay, in this case our UL and our div right here, if you want to make any HTML tags to sit in one line, okay, then you need to target their parent, in this case our navigation, and apply the display flex on it. So let me simulate that right here. So once again, I want my UL and my div to sit in one line, right? So I'm gonna target their parent, in this case the nav, and apply the display to be flex. So once again, I'm gonna type display to be a flex. All right, and if you take a look on the web browser, they are now in one line, but we need to do some stuff. We need to control the space in the X and in the Y or in the Y direction. So the first thing first, I have my navigation. Okay, I want, as I said, the list here to be here and these buttons to be all the way right here. And to do so, I'm just gonna use another CSS property called justify content. Justify content, it is the flexbox property that control the space in the X direction. So in this case, I want to push these buttons all the way right here. So I can very simple type flex, or in this case, what we can do, we can type space between. Okay, I'm gonna divide the space of our nav between the items that we have right here. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna divide the space for our nav between our items. Okay, and if we take a look now, we have the login and the sign up button right here, and we have our items right here. Now if you are wondering, how does the browser know about the space of our nav? Well, of course we can, it is by default 100%, or we can set it if you do not like it. So we can type width to be, for example, 50% only. If we take a look now, so this is 50% from here all the way to here, and it's divided between these 2 items. Now in our case, we can go with 95%, okay, just to add spaces, okay, or you can feel free to give any number that you feel happy with. However, it is time for us to think a little bit more. Okay, so I have told you that if you want to go ahead and make any HTML tags to sit in one line. Okay, then you need to target their parent, right? So in this case, we have these items, the home, blog, about, and content. We want to make them sit in one line, right? So what we can do, we can target their parent and assign a display on it to be flex. So here I'm gonna go back and see we have all these items that we want to make them sit in one line. So I'm gonna target the UL and assign a display on it to be flex. So once again, the class is navlist. I'm gonna go back here and type navlist. All right, so navlist, and assign the display on it to be a flex. If you take a look now, we have all these items sit in one line. Very, very cool. So as you can see, guys, in this video we have learned about the flex property and how we can make two items sit in one line. Thank you, my friends, so much for watching. See you in the next one.